Welcome to Sports for Supper, live from Sammy's Restaurant at 202 U.S. Highway 90 East in Castroville. Sports for Supper, a weekly look at what's happening in area sports. And now, along with Maury Stein, Dwayne Garza, and Jeff Stivers, here's the host of Sports for Supper, Jared Lucky.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another week of Sports for Supper at Sammy's. I'm Jared Lucky, along with Maury Stein. Jeff Stivers is here, and we are going to have a show filled with Coach Bermea, and the cross-country team is going to be on here, and then we're going to have Coach Chris will be on later, and some of the football players will be on after that. But I want to point out that summarize things that happened over the past week. The boys and girls both lost Friday night, football and volleyball, to Southwest and to Harlandale. The girls got back on the winning track last night. They're 2-2 in district now. Medina Valley boys 0-4 starting the season, but they've got Uvalde coming up this week and it's homecoming. But we're going to start with the cross country. And a couple of weeks ago we had Lacey here talking with some of the girls cross country team. Now we have Coach Bermea here, and he's brought some of the boys with him. And Coach, thanks for joining us this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you here again.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
And tell us a little bit about your cross-country season so far, what it's entailed so far, and how you guys are doing up to this point.
Oh, yes, sir. Kids obviously are working hard. We've got some of the best kids out here because they're going to do what you ask them to do, and the workouts, they don't question them. They just go. We're definitely rebuilding a bit this year. Last year we lost quite a few seniors in that lead group, but these kids haven't hesitated to jump in. Had some success early on at Uvalde, and then moved on to a race at Steele, and that went well for us. Had some fun in between with a night race over at the San Antonio Homeschool, and this just past weekend we went down to Corpus Christi and ran the Islander. Islander's kind of like a pre-region preview, if you will. Anybody who thinks they have a chance to qualify for region, they're going to bring their kids down to the run, just because you got to know the course and you got to get used to that Gulf Coast humidity, because that's a monster.
How did they do?
We did okay. Girls ran in the gold division, and they ended up 10th, and the boys ended up 13th. Once again, that's like kind of the elite divisions down there. And then we ran what would normally be our JVs at just a large school division, and they both were in the top 10. So that was that's a win for the day.
And are those players, are you competing against teams that are 6A and things like that?
Yes, sir. It's a mixture. When you go gold division and more elite divisions, they're going to put the fastest kids. So you might see the fastest kids from a 1A, and obviously the 5 and 6As and anybody in between that thinks they have a chance to get through region and on in the state.
I got a question. Hey, Coach. So, the course that y'all run down there, is it on the island or is it at Goose Park? I know years ago it used to be at Goose Park, but where is that course down there? What is it like?
For the past number of years, they've held it there at Dugan Stadium, which is a soccer complex, and it's just got. I mean, they start on the outside of the soccer field. Of course, has a pretty good, maybe about a 600-meter straight shot, and then it kind of turns off, and they run around some dunes. It has a couple switchbacks, which we aren't fans of, but nonetheless we have to run there. And it's actually a 2.5 lap course. So most runners, if you ask them, they want it down and back. They want to run one time out and one time back, but it's not like that down there.
Yeah, but I was saying because I ran the Beach to Bay years ago down there, and I thought, man, that would be really cool to have a high school race that would be like on the same course that they run Beach to Bay, because they get to run a little bit on the beach, and then they get a little, run a little bit on the pavement, and it would be pretty neat to see something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I've run that race before too, so it's definitely something neat that they do down there as well.
What is a switchback?
A switchback is when they're running right, and then they just turn immediately left and come right back down close to the path they just left.
Yeah, it just turns
it's
back.
It's not. It's
almost like it's snake.
It's not a hill or anything, is
it? No, it just switches back the other direction.
It does a 180 and goes right back the other direction. Basically. Yeah, and that's bad because, when you turn like that, it kind of slows your pace down.
Definitely.
It gets your heart rate up a little bit when you do that, and your breathing kind of gets off. That's got to be rough.
There's strategy built in that. As our kids train, we have a course here at Medina Valley that has 2 okay switchbacks. It used to have more, but now we've kind of figured things out. But it helps it get accustomed to the switchback. But like I said, strategy, they establish that position inside and understand what it takes to be able to turn and kind of accelerate through that.
And when is district for you guys?
We'll host here on October 14th. That's a Thursday.
And that's coming up. That's
Yes, sir.
A few weeks.
Few
3
weeks. Yeah, a couple,
or
3
so.
weeks right down the road.
And that's boys and girls, correct?
Boys and
At
girls,
the
yes.
same time?
Yes, this year it's definitely opened up a bit now that we're kind of moving forward a bit, if you will. And we're hosting everybody at the same time. It'll be girls and boys and then JVs. And then we usually have a freshman race, which is a 2-mile race.
And how many teams go? Do 2 teams go from district to regional? How does that work?
Usually it's top. Well, this past year it's top. We went from 2 to 3, so it changes. But definitely we'll go back to regular terms now that COVID's beyond us. Actually, last year with the boys cross team, we went to region and we ended up 4th at region. In a non-COVID year, that's a state qualifying team.
Okay.
So to take it if you will, it's kind of it's just hopefully we're back to regular terms now.
And how many teams will qualify for like a regional meet?
For regional, it'd be 4 teams, and anybody that's not from regional on 4 teams, and anybody not tied to a team.
4 teams from each district in the region.
In region, yes, and then we'll move
Yeah.
on. And from region is 4 teams.
That's what I meant. Like
Yes,
how
I'm
many
sorry.
combined teams would
Yes,
be
sir.
like at a regional meet?
Yes, sir. So 4 teams from each region.
Okay.
And is there also, if it's not, if the whole team doesn't make it, does individuals qualify to go
Individuals can
further?
qualify as well. Like top 10 coming out of district will qualify, and then teams can make it if their teams fall in suit by pointing what they need to win.
That's girls and boys.
Girls and boys, correct. Varsity.
And how has your team done as far as did you lose some kids to graduation last year?
Last
What
year
if
we
you had
lost
come back?
we lost a few boys. Definitely we probably lost, if you think about it, pretty consistently. Probably 4 out of the top 7. So we're rebuilding that aspect. We've got some young kids that are eager to run and run hard. The girls, we graduated a big senior at Macy Livingston, but the girls haven't. I mean, they try not to falter. They fill the void a little bit by some girls just in between, like the numbers 3s and 4s on our team. They're pretty competitive and a little bit faster than last year.
Well, we had a senior and a freshman here with when Coach Lacey was here,
Yeah.
and it was nice to see how the senior leadership was carried over to the freshmen because they were even kind of just challenging each other,
Oh, yes,
saying
sir.
one of these days I want to, be, run. And I don't remember what they said the time was, but they had goals of
Yes.
going under
The
a certain amount.
Sub 21 is where they're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
to be,
that's what it was.
and maybe sub 20 at one point. They're both running very well, just as the boys are. And we tell them all day long that we try and teach Medina Valley kids to pack run, so run as close as you can together in numbers. So just like the girls were saying, they're very comparable. The boys try to do the same. They've struggled a bit in that aspect just because we're trying to get them all to the same level. But a team that pack runs is pretty tough to beat when you look at teams advancing.
And do you do that for the fact of a team aspect, or do you do that because you can help push the rest of your teammates farther during a run like that?
Both reasons, if you will. We have to understand that it's definitely bigger than just one individual, and pushing each other is key, because if you're running alone, whether it be in a workout or on a race day, it's tough. But if you have boys or girls to hold on to as you're pack running, not saying it makes it easier, but you've got a little more motivation to keep going.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about is, when you're running, a lot of running is mental also.
Yes, sir.
Making sure you have the right mindset to keep going, and, when someone's passing you, how do I combat that? How do you all go about helping the kids with the mental aspect of running?
Mental aspect of us, one thing we embraced, went to a clinic a couple years back, is journaling, and it's kind of been streamlined. I'm not sure if Lacey talked about that last time, but it's all online through a Google Classroom now. There's a daily journal that gets posted every morning at about 6:05, and that'll be the journal for the day. So the kids will go throughout their workout, and then through the course of the day, they'll come back and they'll be able to just journal about it. What was the workout? What was it working on? What were my strengths in the workout? Where did I falter? What can I improve on? Gives them a grading system for like nutrition, hydration, just things like that. And also we take a running total of how many miles they've accumulated through the year so far, as well as how many days to district. So mentally preparing them, hopefully that they see, okay, I run 380 miles from the early season till now. That 5K is going to seem like a drop in the bucket distance-wise, but I still got to go out and compete.
Yeah, that's interesting.
How explain to me how the nighttime race, is that something that's going to come into more effect, or is that something you tried once and don't want to do it again?
We tried once
or?
and probably wouldn't do it again. It just depends on where it was held. This was new to us because we thought it'd be something different, and we built it into our schedule because we've had 3 pretty hard weeks of travel thereafter. So we thought we'll run a Friday night, get the kids home a little bit later, but they get to rest Saturday and Sunday from us, and then we'll come back to 3 weeks of hard travel. What we chose to do was go to a home school race that was held by the Spartans. So it was a variation of like international obstacles.
Nice.
So kids jumped over hay bales, they jumped over hurdles.
Yeah.
Time wasn't really relevant, but it kind of helped us and getting the kids to understand that they're going to face adversity in running, and they have to be able to just kind of adapt and overcome. And one other thing that intrigued us about it was they ran a flight format. So they take 7 runners, and all the number 7s would leave at the same time. And then they would take the number 6 runners, and about 5 minutes later, they'd run them. And that just kind of helped us understand that each position on that team, or the top 7, it's equally important, and see how their actions affect the whole team in the scheme of
Sounds
things.
like kind of a steeplechase
Well,
race.
I did 2 Spartan races this year in March and May, and let me tell you, that's a different kind of beast.
So what's the toughest obstacle?
Well, it depends. It all depends on you.
For us, it was we were pretty watered down. But it was probably jumping over like just short hurdles that after you run a mile and a half and those legs are heavy, you're trying to get up and over. We've had a couple kids that didn't quite clear it, but they got up with a grin on their face and they just kept on going.
Well, and those are things that are going to make you a better runner later
yes, sir.
on. I mean,
Absolutely.
anything like that's just going to make you a tougher competitor.
Yes, sir.
And so, after district, how close is regional to your district meet? How do they space that out?
They space it out. Looks like it's definitely the 25th this year of October. So what's that?
So it's only like 11 days.
11 days out. So.
Yeah. And then if it would get to that point, when is the state meet?
State, they kind of held the same format as last year. It'll be a 2-day event with different divisions on different days, but we'll run November 6th, sorry, if that's us.
Okay.
That's good, though, so it's not stretched out. I mean, it's
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 like
a couple of
months
weeks in
apart.
between. It's
Yes.
not.
Absolutely. Just some time to recover. And at the time of year, you're just kind of refining. You're not really trying to do anything to make you too much crazy faster. You're just trying to make sure you get those legs back and have a great race.
What? Go ahead.
Do y'all do anything after the first of the year? Like, I mean, I know state's over in November, so do y'all just keep practicing the rest of the year? Is there no practice? How does that work?
We're very lucky in a sense that cross country doesn't have a set practice start date, so we could start the day after state. We usually like to give the kids a week off of just like early morning session type workouts. But we say as soon as those legs start to twitch, we got to start running again. So it's usually about a week and a half. We'll get out and start having a little earlier sessions where we go back and start building foundation. And most of the time, it's building foundation for the next sport in line, which is track.
Go over what a day of cross country is.
Like on a Monday, that is our long run day. We'll get our longer, slower distance. The kids are trying to run about a minute and a half over what they call PPM. PPM is their pace per mile. So if in a 5K they're running 5:30 pace, they're running about a 7-minute pace for a longer distance or longer amount of time. A long run Monday for us, it's been up to 60 minutes. We have extended that a bit because some of the boys got about 10 miles as of last Monday.
Wow.
And that's just a longer, steady day. Then it breaks into interval days and elevation days, so there's all sorts of aspects that go into it as well.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you being here, and you brought 3 of your runners with you, I see.
Yes, sir.
And we will talk to them here in a minute, but thanks for joining us, and good luck to y'all.
On the 14th?
Yeah, on the 14th.
Well, thanks for having us.
And going forward. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must to visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to
a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at doublethunting.com.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper at Sammy's, as we were joined by Coach Bermea of the cross-country team, and now we've got three of the runners here. And we'll start with the young man in the middle here, and if you'll tell us your name, your year in school.
Hello, hey, I'm John Paul Buendia. I'm a junior, and yeah.
How long have you been running cross-country?
I've been running cross-country for like 4 to 5 years already.
Okay.
If I did the math correctly, yeah.
And how has your season been going so far? How do you feel about your performance this year so far?
It's been going pretty well. What do you call it? I've like got a minute faster. I mean, this is one of the best seasons and one of the fastest I've ever been before, so it's pretty good.
And I was talking to Coach Bermea kind of about, the mental aspect of running and how y'all kind of keep that up. How do you kind of keep some of the negative stuff out of your head when you're running a race? Like, because that can get you down when you're running, so how do you keep that out?
Usually what I really try doing is just like look at the people that are like beating me, and I'm just like, I can't lose. Like I know I'm gonna let my brothers like besides me down if I decide to run slower, and I know that coach won't be proud of me if I just decide to like slow down. So I just have to keep focused and continue running.
How I know you guys now with all the technology with the GPS watches and heart rate monitors and stuff like that, how much do you guys pay attention to things like that?
Me personally, I probably pay attention way too much to it. Like I love like all the new running gear and stuff like that. I got like my Garmin. One thing I always like have a problem doing the race is I always look at my watch to see my pace, and I also like to look at my heart rate. But I really love to like look at the latest tech for running and stuff.
And do you analyze that like after your runs? Do you go home and be like, oh God, I was slower this mile than that mile, and think about like what you can do to fix that and things like that?
Yeah, so I look back at it and I'm like, wow. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just did that, or like I ran that much. Or usually I'm like, okay, so this pace, like in the middle, I need to like work on that, and I need to like improve my speed in the second mile. So I make sure I go into practice and like grind it out and focus.
So with practices, I know y'all got your long run days, y'all do intervals, you probably do some hill sprints, things like that. What is your least favorite of those things?
That is a really good question. My least favorite?
Coach Bermea is listening.
I would say, I don't know, maybe hill sprints.
Yeah, what's your favorite out of them?
My repeats, or either my repeats or 400-meter repeats. Those are like pinnacle. I know most people hate it, but that's my favorite.
Why? What do you love about it?
So with my repeats, I just like running the mile.
Okay.
So like it's just like my favorite thing to do, again, over like 3 times. And then the 400 repeats, I can keep them nice and fast, and like still like push myself, and also like kind of like talk to my boys when I'm finished with the 400 repeats. So it's pretty cool.
And on those repeats, so like you have to stay within a certain time each one, and then you only have a certain amount to rest, correct, between them?
Well, I use my GPS watch, of course, make sure I'm like hitting those times. If I were to not hit a pace, what I would try doing is make sure I run the next one super, super fast, so I can keep that like pace in there.
And so you got district coming up in a few weeks.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about going into that. What are your goals, expectations?
Well, I'm a tad bit nervous, not too worried. My goal is at least to get top 3. You know, we got 2 other godly runners that couldn't join us today, but yeah.
Top 3 as a team or top 3 individual?
Top 3 individual. I'm
That's cool.
looking to get number 1 as a team.
Sounds good.
What is your personal best, and what is your personal best, and what goal do you have set to reach this year? Because you have another year coming back. Is there a certain time that you would like to get to this year?
Mm-hmm. So my personal best right now in the 5K is a 17:12. I'm looking to get a sub 17. I want to be at least in the 1640s around that time. And, by next year, maybe I can be in the low 16s. My hopes and dreams is to be sub 16, but let's see what happens.
Yep. And how nice is it that the weather kind of cooled off now?
It feels so nice.
Yeah. Well, and do you do track as well?
Yes, sir.
And do you run distance?
Yes,
in
sir,
track?
of course.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank
and
you.
We'll pass the microphone on to whoever's next.
Okay.
All right. And if you'll tell us your name and your year in school also.
Okay, well, I'm Xavier De La Garza, and I am a freshman as of this year.
And have you been running in middle school and things like that also?
Yes, this year is my 3rd year running
Okay.
cross country.
And being, a freshman on a team that's, had some success in the past, how does that challenge you to try to make yourself a better runner?
Well, right now, for right now, it's gonna challenge me a lot because one of the top runners really told me that I have to try to strive to be the best, like he was. That is my goal right now, just to at least try to get remotely close as I can as a freshman to him.
Okay. And what is your personal best time, and what's your goal to get under for the end of the year?
For right now, my personal best is currently 18:14,
Okay.
and I want to at least try to get to, at minimum, 7:45 if I can, or if not, any lower.
Okay.
So what do you think you need to improve on to get to 17:45?
I'm gonna say it's that 3rd mile, and keeping that pace up on the last one, and then of course the finish, the last sprint. That's really where it counts, at least for me.
So you guys, I know y'all keep track of everything, so you kind of know where your pace is for your best times. When you're under that, when you're running, or you're over that, kind of what's your mindset going through? Like, hey, I'm running a personal best time. How do I maintain this? Like what goes through your mind when you're thinking things like that?
First, I want to think about it and then focus on my breathing, and at least try to keep pushing myself. And then after that, I want to cling on to someone who's ever in front of me. And if they ever slow down, I just want to pass them up and get on to the next. That's my game plan every race.
And your coach was telling us that y'all kind of did a little event that was kind of obstacle course geared.
Yeah.
How was that for your training? Was that a fun experience? Was it something different? Like what?
Yeah, it was pretty fun, a bit challenging too, because the way the course was made, it was more turns than anything else.
Okay.
And then with the obstacles, it kind of help endure our endurance, make it stronger, so that it led to faster times.
And when you stop running to get over those obstacles, that really screws up your breathing and things like that. That's got to be a pretty big challenge. When you're running all the time, you're used to being able to breathe and kind of keep your composure, and then when you're having to stop in the middle to do things you're not used to, that's got to, how do you get back on track for that?
Well, with that, I like to take at least a few moments in my mind just to clear everything out, and then work on my breathing, and then after that, I kind of just run it like it's a regular race and push through.
With district coming up, what are your expectations for district this year?
My expectation is at least for us to be in top 2 as a team, either second or first, prefer first. And as me as an individual, I at least want to be in the 1730s.
Okay. And you do track as well? You're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
do track this year, long distance running also?
And possibly short.
Oh, really?
I'm a bit at both.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, and we got one more who wanted to be saved for last.
Yes.
And tell us your name and year in school.
I'm Clayton Mcculloch. I'm a junior as well this year. I have been running since 7th grade, and I enjoy running. I really do.
What when you look at distance runners, like they're different breed of people, because there's a lot of people who look at you and be like, you go run 3, 4, 7 miles, like you're
Yes.
What got you into being a distance runner? How did you kind of get started in that?
Well, it started in 5th grade whenever I was in the elementary little track meet, and I was doing the sprints, and then that's whenever I met Coach from Bermea. And then the following year in 6th grade, I raced him in the mile, and I lost. And I was rather frustrated about that. And then so I was like, you know what, I want to beat him one day. And then so I haven't rematched him yet, but I do feel like I could beat him now.
Is that something that during your senior year you might have to challenge him to at some point?
Yes. yes.
I don't think that Coach Vermeer would back down from that,
No,
though.
I don't either.
So what is your personal best, and what would you like to reach after this year?
My personal best is a 17:45, and I would like to hit 16:50s for
Wow, that's
later.
almost a minute. That's
well,
tough.
whenever I PR, it's usually a lot. It's not by a couple of seconds. For some reason, yes. I don't know why. It's just natural.
And y'all got with district coming up, kind of what are your expectations for district?
To get either high 16s or low 17s. I know I've been training hard, and I broke a pair of shoes over it too, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I mean, I've been trying to catch up with, because I'm 4th, and so it's Mark, JP, and Timmy. And then so I've been kind of catching up to them, and I've been working really, really hard so I could be 3 or 2 possibly.
When you guys are kind of in your you run track also?
Yes, I do. I do the 300-meter hurdles, the mile, and the 2-mile.
And during the summer months, are y'all allowed to run in like 5Ks or races, things like that, or y'all can do that?
Yes, we can. I mean, I don't think it's with the school. I mean, we go to practicing with the school over the summer. I mean, I was in Houston, so I ran in Houston. We didn't do any 5Ks over there, but I did run 4 hours basically every day.
So I know in school you have a training program that the coaches give you. How does the summer months work? Is there something that they've given you for the summer, or is it something you kind of do on your own?
It's kind of a mixture of both. If we can't be there, then we do it on our own. But they do offer us optional practice where we could show up. I mean, it would be best if we did. That way we could, not only say we were there, but also show we care really much. I was willing to go, but we had plans in Houston, so I ran over there.
Well, guys, thanks go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Did the running the hurdles in track, did that help at the last race, the kind of the obstacle course? Did you finish ahead of everybody else because of your hurdle jumping?
No, unfortunately not. I got a little tripped up. It was dark whenever we ran, so.
Oh, that was the nighttime one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And those hurdles are like what, 5-6 foot, right? Where you got to push yourself up and get over. Or were they?
No, they were. I stepped over them.
Oh, really?
It was this. It was something. Well, I mean, for these two, probably not, but. But for me, I was able to step over them. The only problem was that it was hard to cadence with them because you really couldn't see. I mean.
Oh yeah.
And I know the people can't see these young men, but they're listening. They have less body fat than anybody I've ever seen, so you can tell they're distance runners because there's no fat on these young men. No. They're in good shape.
Yep. Well, guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Good luck in district.
Thank you.
Beyond that, and hopefully we'll see you guys.
Maybe we see them later on.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you guys later on the show.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and then we're going to transition into football. We've got Coach Crisp here. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in a moment.
Thank you.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at doubleThunting.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper, as we just had Coach Bermea and the cross-country team on. It's always a pleasure having those guys in here. And we're going to move into football. We got Coach Crisp here, coming off of a loss against Southwest last week, but you got Uvalde coming up this week. It's a homecoming game. Coach, what are you guys doing to move forward here?
Well, we're focusing on the little bitty things. We went back and we talked over the weekend, and you know, the way we played last week was not who we are. I mean, I think everybody sees that, and we know that, and the kids know that, and we looked at what can we do to get our focus back. What is it that's missing? Because we got good kids, and we, you know, it's football. It's blocking and tackling. It's, you know, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot over and over. And I told the kids Saturday, I said we can't continue to do the same things over and over and expect a different result. And so, you know, we started things off Monday, and we went back to very, very basics. You know, we can't get through a warm-up right now unless everybody does everything exactly right. If we don't do it exactly right, we start over. You know, we started practice about 15 minutes late on Monday because we had to get through the warm-up exactly right. And so we're focusing on the very, very little details. And I'm hoping that I anticipate that we'll see a result from that on Friday. And so I would say that our practice Monday was really good. You know, the lightning that came Tuesday kind of threw things, you know, a little bit for a loop, but still we made it through that with a fair amount of focus, and things look good. So we're looking forward to Friday.
And Coach, it's going to be homecoming, so that would be a great start to finish 6-4.
That'd be great.
And then go into the playoffs. So
I'll take it.
What challenge does Uvalde? I've seen a little bit and read a little bit about them. They run basically the same offense that Southwest ran last week.
No, they spread it out a little bit. They do some of that where they'll kind of bring three backs in and you know they kind of go from spread to that tight offense, and you know, depending on what the need is, and you know whether it's a change of pace or whatever, they throw the ball pretty well. They got some big guys. You know, they've always got athletes over there. Defensively, they're very aggressive. They're going to send guys from all over the place and, you know, try to create a lot of havoc. And so we got to be able to, you know, keep our composure and sit in there and execute. And so I think, you know, again, I think we match up well with them. And, you know, I anticipate that the result will be different. But, you know, it depends on which team shows up on Friday.
And, you know, you've got your bye week coming up next week. How are you looking forward to that as a way of regrouping before district?
Yes, and there's some things, you know, like we changed some things in practice this week. I've got some things up my sleeve I'm looking at doing before we get into district. So having that week ahead of time is going to be helpful and getting us acclimated to the differences in what I'm looking at doing. So
that offense that we saw Southwest run, where they just kind of a power I formation and run two fullbacks, is that something that you knew was going to happen? Was that something they'd shown before?
That's what they ran when I worked there. Yeah, so I was offensive line coach there way back, and so we knew that was coming. You know, that was what was on film, and they you know, you saw the second half they kind of got into the shotgun, spread out a little bit, but They do a great job. They believe in that mentality of we're going to come at you and you got to stop us. And, we knew that going into it, and we just, we didn't rise up to the challenge.
But your second half was a lot better. It was the first half that really hurt you there.
Yeah.
The second half, you guys played a lot better. They were tackling. They weren't allowing them to gas you for 20-yard runs at a time.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the adjustments you were able to make at halftime to help that.
Yeah, well, after we finished blowing off 9 of our 10 toes, we went into halftime. And, defensively, both Coach Mo's, we made some adjustments on the front, to kind of combat what they were throwing at us. And, I think a lot of it, when things start going bad, sometimes it's hard to find a way to hit the brakes. And we needed to go in and regroup. And I walked in as soon as we were done. I told them, look, I believe in you. And I know you're better than you're playing. And just give me something better the second half, and let's get after it. And so offensively, we didn't change a whole lot because what we had was working when it was working, when we were doing what we were supposed to do.
When you were executing.
Yeah, we weren't snapping it over our head or, getting, false start penalties and those type of things. So, and it showed the second half. If we, I'd love to have that game back, but, it is what it is. We'll move forward.
Well, is that something, too, that you can show them and say, look, when we don't make these mistakes, this is what we're capable of doing?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the hope I'm clinging to here is that, if we can just put together, we had several good plays offensively. If we can put all those plays together, we end up in the end zone. That's, the drive we had that second half was, we didn't move backwards. That makes it hard when you're trying to score. So.
And on the defensive side of the ball in the second half, I think they had a field goal, I believe is all they had. So the changes were there. It's just how can you get it started and say, look, we got to start here and not just play one half of football.
Yep, that's been the question all season long.
Everything that could have happened in that first half, it happened, and it didn't go the orange and black way. That's for sure.
No, it was like two armies facing off, and then when your army starts retreating, trying to gather them back and regroup them. I mean, it's almost impossible. And that's what it felt like, But getting them started, that's why one of the changes we made in practice was, look, we are going to start exactly right. I mean, we're not starting a practice until we get everything exactly right. Now, hopefully that translates, like you said, into starting in the first quarter and not waiting a series, a quarter, a half, and let's get after them right from the get-go. Yeah,
and that's the thing, like you can't win a game in the first half, but you can lose one, and you can get behind enough to where you can't come back. And that's what happened. But you did, I think, what was it, 14-2, 12-2 in the second half. You outscored them to 3. But those are something to build on. You've got Uvalde this week, and it's homecoming, so the kids are going to be fired up and ready to go. So hopefully that'll transition. You get your first win going into your bye week, and you start district on a good note.
Because district doesn't. I mean, the season it started, but it doesn't really start until 2 weeks when you keep score for real.
That's exactly right.
And every game counts. And the Panthers have shown they can play with anybody. We've played how many 6A schools already?
Yeah.
So played what you needed to play and learned from it. And you know what, Coach? Can only get better.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. After last week, I'm looking forward to coming here on a Wednesday and let's talk about how many good things we did on the last game. It's going to happen.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And, Coach, good luck this week. And you brought some of the players with you. We're going to talk to them here in a minute. Maury, you got anything else?
Nope. Good luck is all I can say.
Good luck, and thanks for joining us again. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. We won't have a show next week because we'll have a bye week and everything. But hopefully we'll see you before the Bernie Champion game, and we'll be 1-4, hopefully.
Yep, that's the plan.
Well, thanks, Coach, and we're going to take a break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue in a moment.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to view Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper, as we just had Coach Crisp on, and now we're going to be joined by three of the football players. And I know you guys can't see here at home, but we're going to start with the young man sitting across from me. And if you'll tell us your name, position, year in school, number.
My name is Patrick Haas. I'm a running back / fullback, and my number's 33. I'm a senior.
You're a senior, and we've seen you. You're in the running game, but we've seen you more as a blocker and catching some passes out there. Tell us a little bit about your role on the team like that.
My role, it's to pretty much open the hole for the running back, so that guy gets all the glory while I'm over there like a lineman, basically.
In the trenches?
In the trenches.
Doing the dirty work?
Just more athletic, and they'll send me out for some passing routes, but most of it's just like jet sweeps and blocking. So that's my main role, is just blocking.
Do you like that opportunity, though, when you're in the passing game, you're sitting there, give me the ball, give me the ball?
Yeah, I like it whenever they call plays, and I know I'm running a route, and I'm wide open sometimes, and I'm just like, just please throw it to me.
So what, as far as reads, what order are you on the pass plays? Are you first option, second option, third option? I know it depends on the call, but what?
So if we run like boot plays, I'm the first option. If we run like other plays, like where I'm running like a wheel or a flare, I'm pretty much the last option. If nothing's open, then I'm open on the backside.
Kind of check down to you, and you're an outlet.
So what is your pass route when you're the number one?
When I'm the number, it's just like a little boot route, so like 3-yard out probably, or wheel. That's about it.
When you're out on a blocking scheme, you're talking about sweeps and things like that. Are you looking for someone just to lay out? Like, do you get into that? You just want to pancake somebody?
I do, but I can't sometimes because that guy's the read guy, and I really want to hit him because they're talking a lot of crap, but I can't. So I'm just looking for the guy that I'm assigned to block, and pretty much all the time that's the outside backer.
Okay. And what's that like going up against those guys? Because I know they're usually bigger, quick guys.
It's honestly not that bad. I thought it would be a lot harder, but it's not that hard at all.
And with Uvalde coming up this week, what do they show? Like what are you looking for from them when you're on offense?
They're really aggressive. Like their linebackers like to blitz a lot, and they play really aggressive.
And when you're in a passing game, do you ever stay into pass block?
Yeah, I stay in the pass block to max protect for the QB, so I have to pick up the D linemen that get past our O line sometimes.
Just anyone who comes through there, you got to look at who got through and kind of go chip him. And
yeah, the main person I'm supposed to read is if the linebacker comes through, but if he doesn't, then I just pick up a D lineman.
You ever say, hey, they've got this, and just kind of slip out there into no man's land and hope they get you the ball?
Sometimes I do that. If it's like, I'll do that. Like if it's a hot route and let's say there's like the linebackers are going away, and I'll just slip out in the middle, and hopefully, I mean, it's just a check down. Maybe he might throw it.
On the run blocking scheme, is there a rule that you can't hit somebody below the waist so many yards off the line of scrimmage? Do you have to go up top, or can you chop somebody's legs out within 5 yards, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can chop somebody's legs. You just have to be right, like in front of them, facing them. Like you can't hit them from the sides, because then, I mean, they'll tear their like ACL or something.
Yeah, or hit them from the back or roll
you
up
can't
on
hit
them
them from the back or blind sides. Like, I mean, can't move.
Defensive player now. Well, thanks for. Do you do any other sports?
I play baseball.
You play baseball also? Okay. Well, we'll see you then. I'll be doing all the baseball games. So,
okay.
Well, probably. Assuming the baby. We'll see how that goes. But good luck to y'all on Friday night, and good luck to you down the road, and we'll move on to the next guy.
Thank you.
And if you'll tell us your name, number, position, all that stuff again.
My name is Kenneth Arroyos. I'm the tight end. I'm a senior, and my number is 82.
And we've seen you be targeted for some big plays this year. You managed to catch a few. Some of them been overshot, things like that. Tell us a little bit about your role in the passing game.
Usually my role in the passing game, it's not really a set role. It's just like whatever coach asks me to do, whether it's max protect or just go out for a route or draw the safety away from like the concept side. So it's subject to change play to play, basically.
And blocking, then, you run block, things like that. Do you ever stay into pass protect, or you always run routes?
Yeah, sometimes, like, depending on the formation, they'll usually in, like, two-back, the fullback will go out for a route, and I'll just stay in to block, like, the backside. Just that way Nick has some more time to throw.
Probably the best catch you made was probably one of the worst passes that was thrown to you. He went all the way across your body and made it. How good did that feel bringing that pass in?
Oh, man, it felt amazing. If it's the play I think you're talking about, that was actually my first target of the season. So I was just thinking, like, man, I got to catch this or else they're not going to want to throw to me anymore. So I just had to go up and do what I could.
It was a great catch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You get up against some of the defensive players and things like that. Do you ever have some that are just always talking?
Oh, yeah.
The guys that they're all saying yeah.
Patrick guys saying yeah. I see them all, hear them all the time.
Definitely one of the worst weeks was Veterans Memorial. They talk so much.
You could tell that.
Yes.
You could tell it was getting chippy between both sides later
Yes,
on
sir.
in that game, that there was a lot of that going on. You could tell last year in that game. But
see, y'all two guys ain't like the young man that's going to come up next. He can do something different. Y'all are on the offensive side of the ball, so y'all are the ones that get jabbered at the most, and you have the least opportunity to return the favor.
Yeah, that's for sure.
do you look forward to, in the run blocking, do you look forward to laying somebody out?
Yeah, that's honestly, like, I don't go out for routes too much. I usually, like, run block, and I'm completely fine with that just because I like to have my assignment and just do my best against them and get them out of the play. I take pride in that.
Do you do any other sports?
Yes, sir. I also lift, powerlifting. I play a little bit of tennis, but this year I'm going to try and throw for track and field.
Cool. And you're a junior, right?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yes,
Any
sir.
plans for after high school?
Yeah, I wanna be a carpenter after high school and have my own business. So
Awesome.
Probably go to college to learn how to run a business.
Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, good luck this week, and we'll move on to the next.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Young man down here, you'll tell us name, number, position, all that good stuff.
I'm Dax Fillinger. I'm a defensive tackle. I'm a senior, and I wear the number 21.
And being on that line, you got some big boys on the other side of that line.
Oh, for sure.
Tell us a little bit about, what are you going to line up against this week and kind of some of your toughest challenges from the season so far?
Well, this week, the guy that's lined up against me, he's a little more of my size. So I'm pretty stoked for that because this season I've faced some heavy dudes, not going to lie.
What about, like, the Veterans Memorial Game? Those guys, they had some big boys.
Oh.
Was that kind of the biggest challenge so far?
I mean, they were a challenge, especially the center. He was really aggressive. So I'd probably say they were the biggest challenge.
And people that can't see this, Dax is 265 pounds and 6'3", so.
Yeah.
We talked about size.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
But it is challenging to be one of the smaller ones out in the field. Do you credit your quickness? How do you play your game as far as being speedy against somebody that's bigger?
Well, I definitely use my speed, but this summer I've also gained a lot of muscle, and I just use my hands and sometimes use their momentum to get them off me.
So technique
Yes, sir.
is what you've practiced on.
And so we talked about Uvalde, and, it's kind of been a rough start to the year. We all know that. Kind of what's the mentality in the locker room, going forward into this game this week?
We're going to play every game, try and get a win, just like every single game. More effort, more enthusiasm.
Do you feel a little more hype because it's homecoming, or is it just another game?
It's just another game. We usually kick that off to the side and just focus on the game.
Are any of y'all going to be on the homecoming court?
Yes, sir. Me and Patrick are.
You both are? Okay. You're not
Any
lobbying?
wagers?
Yeah.
Who might be the king?
We're not lobbying for boats here on the air. So, did you do any other sports?
I play baseball.
You play baseball also?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll see you then down the road there.
What position in baseball?
I'm an outfielder.
Outfielder.
And what? Any plans after school?
I'm probably going to get a kinesiology degree.
Cool. You want to be a coach or a trainer?
A coach.
Coach. Cool. Bless you.
Bless you.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Good luck this week coming up, and looking forward to the open week. You guys looking forward to that, or do you want to keep playing?
I want to keep playing.
It's kind of like, oh man, an off week. We don't have a game this week, but you got the off week, and then district will be starting, and we'll see you guys down the road, and hopefully things get back on track.
See you in the
Friday night,
playoffs.
and see you in the
Yes, sir.
playoffs. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back to kind of sum things up and give you all the broadcast for the week coming up. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in a moment.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you. Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at doubleThunting.com.
Headed out to the game? Then make a stop at your local Valley Mart convenience store. With 12 area locations, Valley Mart is always right around the corner. Fuel yourself and your vehicle with quality branded gas and diesel, snacks, and fountain drinks. Always convenient, well lit with clean restrooms. Valley Mart, family owned and operated since 1984, and a proud supporter of Medina Valley athletics and area youth sports for over 30 years.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Welcome back here to Sports for Supper. Show tonight, we had cross country on early. They're going to have their district meet coming up on October the 14th, and that's here at Medina Valley. So go out and support the cross country team, and hopefully they'll move on to regionals, which is going to be about 11 days later down in Corpus down there. And, you know, from there maybe on to state on November the 2nd or 3rd, I believe the 6th is what he said it was, the 6th. But nonetheless, go out and support them with district coming up. Those kids, they run their tails off, you know, every single day, and that's not something easy to do. It's something that can wear on you, wear you down. You can get injured doing it pretty easy. But those kids keep doing it, and you know, go out and support those guys because the way that they run is something else.
Yep, you got to love it. You got to love to run, that's for sure.
And those three, just listening to them on the radio, they're enthused about running. They really take it serious, and they like it. And you can tell, like I said, they have no body fat whatsoever. You can tell them. You can tell that that they run.
The program has been in good shape for a couple of years,
Yep.
you know, and Coach Bermea and Coach Lacey, Shot. They've done a good job of, you know, being enthusiastic with these kids. I mean, you've got some kids I know, like on the girls' side that we had here before, that play basketball and run track, and they do other sports too, and they work with them, and that, you know, that's how you build a program. You know, you gotta be able to sell your program and sell the, you know, the activity itself. So kudos to them and good luck to them.
And Coach Bermea is also with Lacey Shot, good interviewers. I mean, they explain to you and they give you exactly what you want to hear when you're listening to highlight their sport. You know, they couldn't have a better, you know, two better coaches talking about your program.
And one thing I want to throw out there too for the future, speaking of running, we hope to have. I've been talking to. I can't think of her name right now. Yeah, Allie Welch will be coming in and talking about her local. Run local. I guess you can call it a company, but it's an organization where they're the ones that host a lot of the running events in Castroville, and she's going to come in and talk up a couple of their events that they're going to be having in October and November, I believe, or maybe it's November and December. But we'll have her on later on, and we also hope to have our community
corner.
Community corner, but in our community corner, we're going to have one of our legendary wrestlers coming on. Hopefully, we're going to have Hoss Holding come in here and, talk up a little bit about what they're going to be doing. I think they have a match possibly coming up at Shotten Bowl. So, we're going to do some things for the community coming up, too. So, looking forward to a lot of that. And,
when we get those guys on here, it'll be something different in the community that you haven't heard about before. They've started that wrestling stuff over at Shotten Bowl recently, not too long ago, and I personally haven't been out there, but I know you guys have.
Once. Yeah, we
granted courtside or
ringside. Yeah, we got a ringside table out there, Jared. You have to come join us
anytime.
I like how I've never been invited till this end.
You never want to go.
No one said nothing.
Oh no, we've got a table ringside, and we've only had to pull Mari off the mat one time.
I tried to throw 3 and they escorted me to my chair.
So it's a lot of fun, and I'm not sure when the next wrestling event is. I know they've been doing a lot of stuff in San Antonio here recently.
If you just come and patronize one of our sponsors, as we're here tonight, they always have it on the bulletin boards. You can check outside when you leave Sammy's restaurant, and they always have when they're coming.
Hey, we haven't been given the special. You hadn't been doing the special this year.
The special for this week is the cod or catfish basket. 2 pieces of catfish or 3 pieces of cod with a side order. So that goes through Wednesday to Wednesday. That's the evening special.
I just ordered it.
I did too.
Yep.
And I want to point out that the volleyball team got on the winning track again last night. They're now 2-2 in district play.
Yeah, they're finally getting everybody back, and they're getting everybody healthy. And I look forward to them making a run at that district title. Still,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's still within grasp. I mean, they got to have some things happen now, but it's still basically in their control.
They still play the 2 teams that beat them once again. So
right, but if you beat both of those teams, you're still only 1 game closer. So. Things are they're still within their grasp, and we're looking forward to this volleyball team, riding the ship and getting things rolling.
Will they be live also Friday?
Friday they will be live. We will not be live here next Wednesday, as it will be the bye week. So we will not have Sports for Supper next Wednesday, and we will not have football broadcast next Friday, but we will have volleyball Tuesday and Friday next week. So please tune in on Tuesday and Friday for volleyball.
And then we had Coach Crisp on here a little while ago talking about trying to get on track against Uvalde, talking about how, they have seen, kind of the same things we've seen, and talked about, they know what's going wrong. They know what they need to fix. They're trying to address those things in practice, and they're trying to get them to translate into this game coming up against Uvalde, and we'll see if they're able to do that, because we kind of saw a glimpse of it in the second half against Southwest. They came out, they played better football. I think if they'd have played like that, in the first half.
From the get-go.
Maybe they wouldn't have won the game, but it would have been a competitive contest until the very end. And I think that moving forward against Uvalde, it's homecoming. You're going into your bye week. This is a game that Medina Valley really needs to win going into that bye week, because then you've got Champion and Alamo Heights coming to town, who are probably the 2 best teams in the district right now.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, you want to go into your bye week on a positive note, something that will encourage the kids to work hard even on the off week. And I don't see why they wouldn't when you're going up. You're going to be playing Bernie Champion, who Medina Valley's beaten 2 out of the last 3 years. So it's an opportunity for them to, get out, work harder. And, Coach Crisp talked about how, I don't know if he said it on air, but off the air, he was talking about how they changed a few things up at practice this week. And he said the kids responded really well. So looking forward to it and seeing what kind of changes they've made. And, in Uvalde brings to town Coach Wade Miller, who is not necessarily from here, but he married into the gene pool here in Castroville. Leanna Burris is married to Wade Miller, and so that's going to be kind of a homecoming for them. I'm looking forward to seeing Wade on the sidelines as he came over from Toloso Midway in Corpus. But it'd be good to see some of those people out and about, and a good rivalry. The Medina Valley-Uvalde rivalry has been a pretty good rivalry, over the years. The last time we played them, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we play in Uvalde and it was a 1-point game?
Yes. Yeah.
They had a chance to beat us at the end of the game and went for 2.
Yeah, that was when we didn't sit in the press box down there because there was no room.
We never sit in the press box. The last time we were on that side, we were on the roof, and we left the mic stand and everything up there because it's like the Twilight Zone over there in Uvalde.
Yeah, no, and you play in the Honey Bowl, there's no telling what
no telling what'll happen over there.
And it was kind of like that in that game. That was I remember calling that game with Maury, and that was a crazy game to be a part of.
Yeah,
be there.
I think I was there too. We sat in that little platform on the visitor side, didn't we?
I don't think you were there for that.
I wasn't at that one. Okay,
it
must have been the year, 2 years before that. Then, yeah. But it is always something going over there. So thank goodness they're coming over here because, man, for us to go over there this year would be.
Well, and it's always been like that at that stadium. No matter when you go down there, it's a crazy game when you go down there. I remember when I was in high school, we played a 3 overtime game against them down there.
Wow,
it was crazy. So hopefully they'll be 1-4 after this week. You'll get back on the winning track. District will start in 2 weeks. And like Jeff said, you want to go into your bye week on a positive note. And right now, they're coming off a positive second half against Southwest. They need to build on that against Uvalde to go into that bye week.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you say triple overtime? They had overtime when you were in high school?
Yep.
Golly, man.
It was on the 25s. You did the 2.
Oh, I know. I remember when they first started that.
You act like I'm that old.
Golly, I didn't think you were that young.
I'm not that old. Gosh. But yeah, no. It should be a good week. Tune in Friday night to the girls' volleyball game. That will be somewhere probably between the 6 to 6:30 mark. They'll start after the JV game is over, and then they'll be on with that game. I think that'll be Dwayne Garza and Matt Castelloni will be there to do that game for you.
Yeah, and we want to apologize for last Friday not getting that one on air. That was some technical difficulties that we had with the new crew and the new setup, but we've got those corrected, and they will be on air Friday night. And also, we apologize for the camera going out on our game and our broadcast. I mean, it came unplugged. It came unplugged, and we don't have a battery backup, and it just killed the whole stream, and we apologize for that.
Yeah, and for that, when you unplug it, when you plug it back in with the way that our recording works and the way that our production works, we would have had to shut down the entire broadcast to try to get that back up and shut down the computer.
And we'd have lost the YouTube stream.
And we'll make sure almost 100% that won't happen. We'll have the camera so everybody can see the homecoming court and view the homecoming king and queen. And I'm just ready for Friday night football, guys.
Yep, absolutely.
And Friday night volleyball.
And Friday night football when it's a little cooler.
Yes.
Now that it's supposed to be about 56 in the morning, and I cannot wait for that.
Nice. Yep. I bet Maury's going to be in the deer blind in the morning.
Nope.
Nope, not yet?
Not yet.
No? All right.
But, make sure you tune in Friday night for both of those broadcasts, and then tune in on Tuesday next week for the volleyball again. As Jeff mentioned earlier, we will not be on Wednesday night. There is no football game next week. But Tuesday and Friday next week, we'll have the volleyball games on for you. So for Jeff and Maury, I'm Jared Lucky saying good night and God bless, and we will see you on Friday.